Good morning and happy Self-Care Sunday. Of course, my dog thinks I'm talking to her. Yes, I'm always talking to her. Okay, go lay down. Go lay down. So, it's been a while. I wasn't away last week, so it's nice to be back. I don't think I'm going to be going away much more. Next Sunday I might do a later time because I do have some company, and so I might do like later on in the evening. Um, Today we are talking about kind of a funny topic, but it looks like I'm having shitty speed. Okay, what does it say? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna leave it unless it stops on its own. I'm not really sure. Seems like be working fine on my phone, but on my laptop it doesn't seem to be working as well. But it's still going. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going. So the topic today is how to feel like shit every day, all day long. And of course, I'm kind of joking. I started off, I posted on Instagram a post. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely follow me there. I'm at Tina Stinson Coach. And I do a lot of more personal stuff there about my daily life and my dogs and my garden. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then definitely follow me there. Um, I would love to have you. But anyway, on today's post, I posted a bunch of stuff that is helpful, but it's also stuff that we already know. So a couple of quick self-care tips, which are things like take a few deep breaths, get outside into nature, um, nourish yourself with healthy food, give yourself time, okay? And we all kind of know these things. You know, we go about our day every day knowing these things in the back of our head, but we don't always do them. And so what really happens is we kind of ignore our needs, all right? And I was like a professional at this. So a lot of you know that back in the day when um, before I became a health coach and a life coach, um, I sold real estate and I was a single mom with three kids and I was very busy and I didn't really have a high self-worth at the time. I came out of a really negative marriage where there was some emotional abuse and I didn't have like a high self-worth. And so I didn't really think that I was really worth taking care of myself. So I didn't take care of myself. I took care of everything else. And what was most important to me was taking care of my kids. But what I didn't realize at the time is if I didn't take care of myself, that I would break down and in some way, shape, or form, and then I would not be able to take care of my kids or anybody else, or even work at a high level. And so, what I learned over the course of years is that if you don't take self care seriously, it'll catch up with you. And doing daily self care, even if it's just little, tiny little things, doing daily self care can help you be more successful in every aspect of your life, personal and professional. And so it's really important and it can be very, very powerful. And so I can come on here and I can give you these little tips like, you know, take a few deep breaths and go outside in nature. And those things are really, really powerful. But what you really need to do is you need to take the time out every day and ask yourself what you need. Okay, so it's not just about going through the motions and saying, oh, I did my self care today, I took a walk in nature. It's about really tuning in with yourself every single day, at least once. And if I'm being completely honest with you, you should do this at least 3 times a day. But just start small, okay? If this is not something that you're used to, or if you're still in the kind of mindset that thinks that self care is selfish, and I'll go back into that about self care being selfish. But if you're still in that mindset, then just try one little thing a day. But before you try that one little thing, take a few deep breaths. I'm being serious now. What that does is it kind of brings you back into yourself, into your moment, and it takes you away from the busyness of your day. And so if you take a few deep breaths, and when I say that, I mean, wow, the color just changed. Oh, there it goes back again. That's so weird. I like this color better. I looked yellow before. um, so when you take a few deep breaths, what I mean is breathe in really deep, expand your diaphragm. So when you're breathing in, you're gonna like feel your rib cage expand. And what this does is it helps you relax. It takes you out of fight or flight, puts you into rest and digest, and it stimulates your vagus nerve, which kind of calms you down. It tells your body that everything's okay, and so you can become more centered, and you could really tune into yourself. And so you might not need a walk in nature. You might not need to nourish your body with good food. You might need something else. And if you're just doing one thing today, you want it to be something that's really going to be helpful to you personally. Okay, while these general things are very helpful to most people, and that's why people suggest them, what really would be helpful is doing these few deep breaths. So like if you're going to breathe in through your nose, hold it at the top, maybe put your hand on your heart center and really start to like center into yourself, connect with yourself. You can even close your eyes, because when you close your eyes, you're not really taking in all that external stimulation. So that's why closing your eyes is helpful. So you can close your eyes and then you can kind of bring yourself into your mind's eye or into your heart center. Just bring yourself back from all places and all stuff you're doing and all those mental loops in your head, and just bring yourself back to center. And then just after you can feel yourself calm and feel yourself feel centered and grounded, it could even be helpful to put your feet on the ground. But after you feel like you're more centered, then you can ask yourself the question, what do I need right now? And it could be something like you could look at all the different areas of your life and say, health, how is my health? How is my fitness? How is my relationships? How is my career? How is my money situation? Where do I need the most love? So you can look at all these different areas of your life and you might know instantly, like, Tina, my marriage is so shitty right now. I really need to focus on relationships. And you might need some extra care. What can I do today that can either bring me away from that and help me relax, or help me improve that? What am I in the mood for? Do I have the energy to put back into my marriage right now? Do I have the energy to put that love and care into that relationship that's needed? Or do I need to kind of remove myself and give myself the love and care that I can give myself right now? Okay. Or it could be careers. Maybe you're having a very stressful time at work. What do you need today? Today's Sunday. I'm not at work today. I need to not think about work. Maybe getting outside in nature would be helpful. Doing something fun with a friend that is really distracting, taking your dog for a walk, things like that. So ask yourself what you need for yourself today. You feel really sick, okay? You're tired, you're sick. What do I need today? I need to rest, even though I know I should do my laundry, I should clean my house, or even though I told my friend I would help her move, I don't feel good. I need to rest. So I'm going to give that to myself today. And I'm going to be honest with my friend or honest with whoever you might have plans with and be like, listen, I'm not feeling very well today. Nowadays, when you say that, people don't want you around. So it's pretty easy now. But you could just, be honest and truthful, and communicate well with the people in your life, and give yourself what you need. Because I'm going to go back to the self-care is not selfish, because self-care is not selfish. And I learned that the hard way, because after not taking care of myself for years and years, I had a stroke. And I had a stroke at the age of 39, so that's really young. And one of the most interesting things that I learned, and I always tell people I had a stroke that was caused by stress. And the reason I know this, to be a fact, it wasn't caused by artery disease of my arteries or anything like that, is because after I had the stroke and I went into the emergency room, I also had a clot go into my brain. So they automatically call that a brain bleed, which is very exciting to interns in the emergency room, because they think they're going to do brain surgery. So, but mine did not bleed out. I was very lucky. I was lucky in so many different ways that I survived what happened to me. So what happened to me was an artery in my neck, the inside lining of it actually tore. And then when you have any kind of injury, like a cut on your finger, the blood clots up. So that's what was happening on the inside of my artery. And it clotted up to the point where it blocked the artery. Now, the reason I didn't have like a severe stroke is because you have two vertebral arteries, and that's the artery. And so the other one took over and was still feeding my brain with blood. So that's why I didn't die or didn't have any really bad side effects, only a few. So so then so So when they went in and did an angio and they looked at my arteries, there were a couple of neurologists that talked to me afterwards, and they said that I had the healthiest arteries they've ever seen, and that this must have been caused by some kind of a traumatic injury, like a car accident or something like that. But nothing had happened to me like that. The only traumatic injury that I had was extreme stress for like a couple of years. And when I say extreme stress, I'm talking extreme stress. My hair from like here up fell out pretty much. I mean, I was under a lot of stress, and I'm not going to go into the details of that because it doesn't really matter. Everybody handles stress differently, so something that might be hard for me might be easy for you, and vice versa. It's just a matter of what's stressful to you and handling that when you're in that moment. And I did not handle any of my stress. I did not take care of myself. So self-care is not fucking selfish. Selfish what's selfish is not taking care of yourself. Like it's just you're not thinking of yourself. You're not thinking of the people that you love around me. You're not thinking about your responsibilities, okay? Because you're not going to be there for any of them. And so, what I had to do after I had the stroke, and the reason why I teach what I teach now, is I had to learn how to take care of myself while still selling real estate and taking care of 3 kids by myself, which just that alone sounds super stressful. But I had to learn all these different techniques because it was so important to me to be around for my kids and be just and live my life. I wanted to be alive. So I learned all these different techniques, and over the course of 10 years of studying and getting certified in a quadrillion different things, I learned how to kind of master this the best for myself, and I share these techniques with you. And that's why when I was making that post on Instagram this morning, while it looks really pretty and it might get through to a few people, like a few people might look at that and say, yeah, you know what? I should get out today. I deserve to give myself some love today. The message I really want to get through to you is to learn how to check in with yourself. It only takes like a minute to take a few deep breaths and just ask yourself that one question and then see what comes back. And the more you do this, the better you'll get, the quicker you can tune in, the quicker you can ground yourself and get centered, ask yourself this question and then listen for the feedback. Now, the feedback isn't yourself telling you self stories in your mind. Well, Tina, you need a lot of stuff. Da, 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 da. That's your ego mind talking. What you're really looking for is an answer from your heart, from your intuition. What do you really need? And that's going to be a quick, precise answer. It's not going to be a story. You need rest, period. Okay, how can I rest? Okay, you need some connection. You need some friendship. You need to call so and so. Like that's if your mind is telling you some kind of a story or you're getting into your ego mind, you need to take a few more deep breaths and like really tune in and practice this. This is Millie. This is my killer dog. We live in the country and every day she kills a small animal, not by me letting her. She's super fast and I absolutely hate it. So I have a little story to tell you on top of this story. Um, a little segue from my killer dog Millie. So yesterday we have a shit ton of robins around the house, baby robins and nests. And yesterday she got a hold of a baby robin. I thought it was a chipmunk, but it was a baby robin, and we got it out of her mouth, and it was still alive, but it didn't make it, and I felt really bad. Um, and then later on that day, I found another baby robin. She was inside. I was kind of mad at her after that. And I named him Harold, and he looked like he wasn't finished yet. Like he shouldn't have been out of his nest, but he was hopping around on the property. He still had the fuzzy head, and his wings were still kind of tiny, and he didn't seem like he could quite fly yet. So I was like, oh, this guy's never gonna make it here, because like there's so many predators here. So mommy and daddy were very worried, and so I scooted him back to the woodshed where the nest was. I knew which nest this was. We had like 3 or 4 nests around the house, and all the other nests, all the birds had fledged the nest already. This was the last one, the last batch. And so I got him to scoot back to the wood pile, and he hopped up in the wood pile, and I gave him a little bird bath of water. And that was like me trying to make everything okay that my dog earlier killed another robin, which was horrible. And I have no idea where that robin came from. It must be another nest somewhere that I'm not aware of. So anyway, long story short, my dad saw Harold this morning, so Harold made it through the night, and mommy's still feeding him, and I'm gonna go out right after this and go find Harold and see what he's up to, and I'll take a picture if I can find him. But I'm glad he's alive, and we'll see if he can be strong enough to start flying so he can get away from the predators. But anyway, that's my funny country story. So another thing I'm going to be starting on Instagram, that if you're interested, so I'm aware that some people can't get out into nature because they just don't live in nature. Like all of my kids actually live in cities. So Providence, Charlotte, and New York. And they all live in big cities, and there's not a whole lot of nature. There's nature close by, but not when you step outside of your door. So I'm going to start on Instagram doing reels of different places in my yard because I live in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing but nature all around. And it's absolutely beautiful in the summer and the fall. Winter's a whole different thing, but summer and fall, it's beautiful. Um, so I'm going to be sharing that with you. So if you're interested in tuning into nature for 15 seconds I'm going to start it weekly. I would like to do it almost every day, but I'm not like a serial Instagram poster. I'm not huge on social media. So, but I'll try to do it as often as possible, and I would love for you to join me. So it's at Tina Stinson Coach. So the message for today, to go back to it, so I said how to feel like shit every day, all day. And the reason I said that title is because if you don't tune in to yourself, and sorry, I'm getting bombarded with messages. If you don't tune into yourself, what really happens is you just end up being like a stick on the river that's being tossed around by the river, and you're not in control of any direction that you're going in. And you're just kind of reacting to life. But when you tune into yourself and you ask yourself what you need and you actually focus on what you want out of your life and you know what you want out of your life and you have some direction, then you live with more happiness and joy and flow. And so the first step is really tuning in, like I talked about in this live. Now, I do have a free masterclass right now that I'm promoting. It's only going to be free until June 15th. And if you're watching this video at a later date, this is June 15th, 2022. It's going to be available till then for free. And what I do in this masterclass is you have a little assessment at the beginning, and it kind of shows you, like I talked about the different areas of your life, like health and fitness and relationships and career and money. It kind of shows you where you're out of balance and where you can focus on to really put that self-care. And then I teach you about how to write your core values in life. And this is really like the GPS, the direction that you want to go to in your life. So you know what your starting point is, and then you're going to make some decisions on what direction you want to go in and how you want to experience your life right now, because you have complete control over that. And so this master class, it's a two-part master class. It's recorded, so it's pre-recorded. You can watch it anytime you want. It comes with a very extensive workbook that will help you work through the assessment and the core value statements. And it's an introduction into my boot camp, my Aligned and Worthy boot camp. So this masterclass is actually the first step in my boot camp that I'm launching right now, and you'll get more information about that in the masterclass. But I can also post it below in this video. I'll post a couple of links. I'll post a link to the masterclass and a link to Aligned and Worthy, so you could check it out if you want to. If you sign up for the masterclass and you're in my community, meaning if you're on my email list, tomorrow I'm going to be announcing a huge special offer for Aligned and Worthy. So make sure you get on the list today. Once again, the masterclass is available for free until June 15th, and I'm so excited to offer this to you because it's just like a huge step to get started with your self-care journey. Okay, that's it for today. Check out the links below, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Goodness.